Good morning and welcome to the Frontiers of Knowledge segment of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. As I always say, human ingenuity is unlimited. We don't use it, and if we use it, we don't use it properly. But many times, some very interesting, very innovative ideas are visible. We hear all the time that the next war is going to be for water. And there is a huge shortage of water despite the fact that the whole world, three-fourths of it is covered with water. The question arises what to do, especially in the arid zones like Rajasthan, Sahara, Arizona, and so on. Voila, here come the hydro panels. These hydro panels, attach them to the house just like you do the solar panels. And you get hundreds of gallons of fresh drinking water. What a boon to the people living in the deserts and the arid zones. Clean, renewable drinking water straight out of thin air. It sounds too wild to be true. But then, a Arizona-based company called Source has done that. For the first time, a company has done something which is supposed to be done by the academia. And these hydro panels they have invented and they're selling. These high-tech panels use the sun to extract moisture from the air, providing safe drinking water, clean, absolutely clean. You don't have to clean it. And the technology is fairly simply straightforward. Fans on each panel are there, and these fans basically draw in ambient air, push it through water absorbing material, trapping the vapor from the air. So it's reverse process. They withdraw the air instead of throwing it out. And then there's the water absorbing material that traps the vapor. And then the vapor is condensed and collected in a reservoir. And then even the process of condensation takes a renewable energy effort because the energy used is solar energy. This water is then mineralized with magnesium and calcium to maintain better quality and achieve a better taste. And now, while condensing air into water is not something new, let's be very clear. The energy used to do it, all coming from the sun. But these panels are more sustainable than the traditional method. And the cost is $2,000 each panel. And that panel of $2,000 can produce 1.3 gallons of water a day and can operate completely independent of other infrastructure. Meaning, the hydro panels can provide safe, clean drinking water virtually anywhere. And the cost is practically nil. Looking at that water, it's a lifelong, once it's invested, you get 1.3 gallons every day. Invest 2 and have 2.6 gallons, depending on your need. So the challenges with water around the world were dramatic, and now safe water, unlimited resource, and that's a big deal. Now look at it. There are 2 billion people living in the water-stressed countries. As I said, Sahara, Rajasthan, Thar, and other places. The problem is only expected to get worse because of the warming temperatures and the population growth. According to UNICEF, by 2025, after 2 years, 50% of the world population shall lack access to drinking water, clean water. And in the water stress countries, bottled water is a solution for safe drinking water. But there's another problem with our water bottles. 80% of these water bottles end in landfills, and they enhance the plastic waste issue. So a single source hydro panel eliminates the need for 54,000 single use bottles over 15 years. 54,000, imagine it. And it's working across the world. The hydro panels, they have started using in almost 50 countries, and they're supplying water. Now this is something great. And along with this, another news comes. And that is that the new solar panels have been designed. And these new solar panels are 1,000 times more powerful than the solar panels you are using today. The photovoltaic effect of the ferroelectric crystals has been enhanced 1,000 times by using different material. And this has been revealed in a study by the researchers at Martin Luther University in Germany. These panels, you create crystalline layers of barium, titanium, and strontium titanate and calcium titanate, and they alternately place one on the top of the other. And the result is, according to the scientists, these are something which are extremely powerful. Now imagine, in a house, you used only one panel where you needed to use 1,000 panels. It's tremendous, and they significantly enhance the efficiency, and they're cheaper in the long run. Initially, the cost would be higher. Now, ferroelectric means that the material has capability to separate silicon, and what they're doing is they're using silicon, and that makes these panels more useful. Earlier what they were doing was they were using silicon, and ferroelectric crystals do not need a junction to create photovoltaic effect. So this makes them easier to produce, the solar panels, and according to the researchers, in a couple of years the cost of these panels shall be cheaper than the traditional solar panels that are being used. These two are great as far as energy is concerned, which is renewable energy, non-polluting, no danger, clean, safe, renewable. The other, water to the thirsty billions of people. But then we are living on this earth, terra firma, and we know this earth is spinning. You see, the core of the earth is also spinning simultaneously, and they spin the same way. Because when they spin the same way, the speed is consistent. But now I was reading Nature Geoscience journal, and I was amazed that in the last 1 week, they have analyzed seismic waves from repeated earthquakes over the last 6 decades. And they say that the Earth's inner core has stopped its rotation, paused, and then started spinning in the opposite direction. Now, what is solid inner core. It's a hot iron ball sort of thing. And the core is 5,000 kilometers below the surface we live on. So if I start digging 5,000 kilometers, I'll reach the core. And this is, according to the geoscientists, basically a planet within a planet. However, it has the capability to spin independently because it floats in a liquid matter, outer core. The outer core is a liquid matter and inside is swimming. But now the danger is that this counter spinning, would it be useful or would it be harmful? And this fierce debate is going on now in the scientific circles. What little we know about the inner core comes from measuring the tiny difference in the seismic waves created by the earthquakes and sometimes the nuclear explosions. Unfortunately, the number of the earthquakes has recently increased. Now the scientists are thinking, is it because of the tectonic plates shifting, or is it because of the reverse rotation of the inner core? So they are seeking to track the inner core movements, and they are analyzing the seismic waves over repeated. This study has been done by Chinese Peking University. They found the inner core rotation came to a halt practically, absolutely stopped, and then started turning around. And the one cycle of swing in 7 decades. They say me is natural. So every 35 years, 37 years, the cycle changes. And according to their judgment, it changed in 1970. And next change would be in 1940 when it starts rotating in synchronization with the outer circle. But they are afraid that this may not be correct. And the small variations are going to definitely make one change. There is unanimity on that. And that is that the length of day would change. Now how it changes and what it changes has yet to be seen. And then about the water. Scientists in Australia, again, because this is a major problem, they say the toxic water can be cleaned forever, chemicals from the water. They say they have evolved a very, very simple, straightforward matter, and you use it once, it will take away all the chemicals, all the toxic things, and you'll be left with clean drinking water. Say even the sea water, you pull it through, and all the molecules which are not relevant would be removed. This has been done at the University of Queensland, and that they have developed this technique. What they do is they use some chemicals and a magnetic fluorinated polymer solvent. And this fluorinated carbon solvent is added to the water, and immediately the process of separation starts, and you are left with clean water. Are you intrigued? I am. But when these positive things are taking place, simultaneously negative things are taking place. Just 2 days back, news has come that China has developed a nuclear power long-range torpedo. And this is disconcerting. These torpedoes would be powered by the nuclear reactors, which can be dumped on the sea floor, and they can travel over 6,000 miles. So sitting in Beijing, Mr. Xi can order the torpedoes to be sent to the American boats. And imagine the low-cost nuclear-powered torpedoes. and they will travel undetected in the Pacific Ocean. And according to the strategists, they'll target the USA in about a week when the war starts. And this group of researchers in Beijing, this is not a dream, there is a concept which they have turned into reality. And the US Department is aware of that, naturally. So they have completed the design, they have prepared, and now when they test it is not known. But this system would be using a disposable nuclear reactor to reach and maintain a cruising speed of 30 knots, and it can travel for 200 hours. 30 knots per mile per hour means 35 miles per hour and 200 hours. So easily more than 6,000 miles it can travel without any problem, and torpedo will continue to drop off from the battery to launch its attack. And that is going to be a disaster for the enemy navies. Because once the naval barricade is finished, then the land army can come in, pour in, and destroy you. So on the one side we saw the positive thing and then the negative things, but that's the way life is. So these horizons of knowledge keep on widening, keep on adding to our strengths and also enhance our weaknesses. But man's knowledge and the quest for knowledge continues unabated, undiminished, forever. Thank you.